राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये।
Thank you, bro. Hare Krishna. So continuing from the second canto, second chapter, entitled The Lord in the Heart. And we see here in the initial verses, Srila Shukadev Goswami is talking about how one should conduct himself. And particularly he is mentioning that an enlightened person should endeavor only for the minimum necessities of life. And what are these minimum necessities of life? This he will explain in the following verses. What is the minimum necessity of life? Just to keep the body and soul together. Purushottam Prabhu was asking, and how to practically mold one's life on bare minimum necessities of life. So this will be explained by Srila Shukadev Goswami himself. What it means to live with the minimum necessities of life. Satyam shito kim kashipo prayase bahu swasiddhehi upabharyana kim sati anjalo kim purudhana patra valkaladho sati kim dupuleha. So first he says that there are ample earthly flats to lie on. One has to sleep. So how one should sleep? One should lie on the earth which is flat. When there are ample earthly flats to lie on, what is the necessities of cots and beds? When one can use his own arms, what is the necessity of a pillow? You have seen in certain situations when we are forced, when we have no support, when we don't have a pillow, then automatically what becomes our pillow? Have we not slept many times? While traveling, if we don't have a pillow, then what we do? We use our hand, we use our arms as a pillow. So what is the need of a bed? When the earth is flat, you can lie on the earth. What is the need of a pillow? When you can use your own arms. When one can use the palms of his hand. What is the necessity of variety of utensils? When there is ample coverings of the skins of trees. What is the necessity of clothing? Why? Because the skins of trees, they can provide you clothing, purport. The necessities of life for the protection and comfort of the body must not be unnecessarily increased. Human energy is spoiled in vain search after such illusory happiness. If one is able to lie down on the floor, then why should one endeavor to get good bedstead or soft cushion to lie down? Narasimha Jayanti is coming. What is the meaning of Hiranyakashipu? Hiranya means gold. And what is Kashipu? Yes, Dayashil bro.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Soft
Ah.
question or soft bed?
Software. This is what this verse is speaking. Kim Kashipu. Where is the need of beds and cots? If we do not agree, then we will become the one who is representing Hiranyakashipu. Everyone is after gold, trying to amass more and more gold. Yesterday was Akshaya Tritiya. You see how many ads the companies promote on Akshaya Tritiya, suggesting people what? To buy gold. In a way, what they are propaganda, that you also become a mini Hiranyakashipu. Try to amass as much as gold. And the entire world is after having soft bed or more comfortable bed. More big and big, expensive and comfortable bed, but no sleep. Because their heart is filled with fear and anxieties. They cannot get any sleep. What is the need? This is being questioned here by Sukadeva Goswami. Then why should one endeavor to get good bedstead or soft cushion to lie on? If one can rest without any pillow and make use of the soft arms endowed by nature, there is no necessity of searching after a pillow. Many people, they cannot sleep without a pillow. If we make a study of the general life, for brahmacharis, what is our pillow? Many times I have done that. Our pillow is our gamcha. Use the gamcha as a pillow and sleep. What is the difficulty? If we make a study of the general life of the animals, we can see that they have no intelligence for building big houses, furniture, and other household paraphernalia. And yet they maintain a healthy life by lying down on the open land. They do not know how to cook or prepare foodstuffs. Yet they still live healthy lives more easily than the human beings. This does not mean that human civilization should revert to animal life, or that human being should live naked in the jungles without any culture, education, and sense of morality. An intelligent human cannot live the life of an animal. Rather, man should try to utilize the intelligence in arts and science, poetry and philosophy. In such a way, he can further the progressive march of human civilization. But here the idea given by Srila Sukadeva Goswami is that the reserved energy of human life, which is far superior to the animal, should simply be utilized for self-realization. One should not put an endeavor in trying to for economic development and for having entire world is enamored. And this is one's economic development and trying to increase of human civilization must with God, which is not possible in any form. Is the nullity of passing phantasmagoria, Prabhupada's own genius. One must realize the nullity of material phenomena, considering them a passing phantasmagoria. It is all dream, all imagination. And one must endeavor to make a solution to the miseries of life. You all know what are the miseries of life. What are the miseries of life, Pradeep?
What death, old age.
Quickly, why you are taking some time? Jara Vyadi Dukha Doshanudarshan. But it requires Anudarshanam. Without self Hare Krishna, please answer. आपको दिखाई दे रहा है? Are you able to see and hear?
No, I am hearing.
Hare Krishna, is my voice reaching you? Bolo na, yes or no?
Now I am reaching. No, it is
Bole
reaching.
Purushottam? You can hear? Okay.
प्रभु जी बीच में नहीं आ रहा था, अभी आ रहा है.
Civilization geared to sense gratification is delusion. And such a civilization is not worthy of the name. In pursuit of such false activities, a human being is in the clutches of Maya or illusion. So the more we are having pursuits and desires for material position, the more we are being pushed under the control and clutches of Maya or illusion. Great sages and saints in the days of yore were not living in palatial buildings furnished with good furniture and so-called amenities of life. They used to live in huts and groves and sit on the flat ground. And yet they have left immense treasures of high knowledge with all perfection. Srila Rup Goswami and Srila Sanatan Goswami were high-ranking ministers of state, but they were able to leave behind them immense writing on transcendental knowledge. While living under the succession of trees, residing for only one night underneath each tree. They did not live even 2 nights in well-furnished rooms with modern amenities. And still they were able to give us most important literatures of self-realization. The so-called comforts of life are not actually helpful for progressive civilization. Rather, they are detrimental to such progressive life. There are ample opportunities and sufficient direction for a happy termination of the progressive life. And the sincere followers are at Hare Krishna. So I want little discussion. Let us have discussion on this verse. Very important verse. Very, very important verse. And very instructive purport. What it means to live with the minimum necessities of life. Yes, notice.
Yes, what is, yes, yes, yes.
What is the understanding? The detailed description which Sukadeva Goswami is giving here. Okay, who remembers what example he's giving? What it means to live with minimum necessities of life? Purushottam, what is the first example he gives? Boliye. Yes, go ahead, Purushottam. Go.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Sukadeva Goswami saying if there is flat earth is available for the sleeping, then what is the need to have bed and cushion?
Yes.
So it means, yeah.
Go ahead, go ahead.
So it means that so we should utilize our energy to for self-realization instead of getting for material things.
No, what it means to utilize our energy for self-realization.
So it means we should accumulate only things which are necessary for keeping life and soul together.
You know what it means, huh? The first aspect that we are discussing, when the earth is flat, what is the need of bedsteads and cots? So how we can apply this principle? What actually is the message by this example? Yeah, don't leave it. Take this message deeper into the heart, so that there is any desire to apply, otherwise there will not be any even desire to apply. Follow, discuss. You can also participate. Others can also participate. What is the understanding? What is the basic principle behind this example? Yes, Ravindra Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Uh,
Yeah. Bole.
we should not give unnecessary comforts to our body, so that this material comfort, with these material comforts we cannot participate in spiritual path.
दोबारा बोलना.
प्रभु जी यहाँ पे यही बता रहे हो, it is not required to give unnecessary comforts to our body.
Why? What is the difficulty? Why we should not? Why we should give trouble to our body?
If we give unnecessary comforts to our body, then we will engage to accumulate these comfortable things.
Then why? Why? What is the difficulty? What is the danger?
That means we will engage to only accumulate this, we will not engage in spiritual realization.
Yeah, we will become blind. We will be so enamored or self-absorbed in trying to enjoy sense gratification that there will be no time and no desire for self-realization. Okay. So whatever bare minimum we have, we should be satisfied. Best is to sleep on the floor. See what is practical. Because the entire life we have slept on beds. So it is not difficult to sleep on floors. But keep only a basic bed, the bare minimum basic bed. Okay. What is the next example? Manoram Prabhu.
Prabhuji, next is example of a pillow and our own arms.
Yeah.
So Sukhdev Goswami is telling that we have our own arms, then why we need a pillow for that? We can use our own arms for sleeping.
Yeah. So what is the significant message behind this example?
Means depending on our own self and not on the external things.
Okay. So how we can, apply this message, what it means?
Again, it means Prabhuji, like the example of bed was. So whichever is not required and without which we can sustain, we should actually proceed in that way. Means if without a pillow we can sustain, then better why to go for targeting a pillow and using it. So means again diverting our energy for earning, collect those
Bring
things.
comfort to
So
body, which is temporary. In any case, the body will perish. We cannot preserve the body. Irrespective of whatever comfort we try to give to the body is sure to die. Okay, what is the third example? Ramya is not watching today? Okay, Ramya, what is the third example?
प्रभु जी वो क्लॉथ वाला
क्या है बताइए?
there are ample of tree bark
Yes. That is the fourth example. Anyway, you give the example. बोलिए बोलिए.
प्रभु जी एक्चुअली में मुझे ये समझ नहीं
आपके पास बुक है?
आती है।
थोड़ा क्लियर लिखा है ना, पढ़िए क्या लिखा है.
When there is The ample of covering
Dig
or the
bal
full
kaatu.
of
Dig
what is
bal
necessity of
kaatu.
clothing.
Yeah. When there are skins of trees, why there requirement of clothing? And Chirani Kim Pathina Santi, are there no torn clothes on roads? Know what it means? Prabhupada gave one example in the purport. So it is all related to that. बोलिए. Have you seen the animal species arranging clothing? Finding cloth and then cutting and then preparing, tailoring and then wearing. No need. Actually, there is no need. When Sanatana Goswami came and met Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the first time after coming out from Bengal, where did he met? Where did Srila Sanatana Goswami met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Outside Ramkeli. So many times we have heard the life history of Sanatana Goswami. Yes, Ravinder, Darshan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Prayag, Prabhuji, Prayag.
Very good. Outstanding. Sanatana Goswami met Lord Chaitanya at Prayag. Pranav, you are hearing? Sonika?
Yes,
Video of
Prabhuji.
this. Where did Sanatana Goswami meet Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first time outside Bengal?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, in Banaras.
Yeah, in Varanasi. And when Sanatana Goswami met Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Varanasi, what was Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again and again looking at? Yes, Ramya? बोलिए.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu Sanatana Goswami was covered with a very costly shawl, which was
Blanket.
again
Blanket. He had a very expensive, good-looking blanket. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was again and again looking at the blanket. So Sanatana Goswami got the message. What did it? Pradeep? What did Sanatana Goswami do? You don't know? I don't know. I know that you don't, because you never hear attentively. We're very keen to hear about the Goswamis, our Acharyas. Balaram, what did it? Balaram Prabhu, I'm asking you, please answer. We don't want to waste time. At least 2-3 verses we want to cover. Sanatana Goswami got the message. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not pleased with my costly blanket. What he did? What the verse is speaking. No interest. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. Yes, Ravinder?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Priyanka, boliye.
Sanatan Goswami gave it to a beggar.
And
Drag the donkey.
huh? Sanatana Goswami exchanged that costly blanket with the beggar on the street by accepting his torn and dirty blanket. Why? Because Sanatana Goswami became a renunciate, a mendicant. And Mahaprabhu was saying, what is this? One time you are showing vairagya and the other time you are utilizing this expensive blanket. So what kind of renunciation is this? A false renunciation. Unless and until one becomes detached or renounced, there is no possibility of any advancement in spiritual life. Okay, we'll see the next verse. Even more interesting. It's not over. It's further extended. Chirani kimpati na shanti dishanti bhiksha neva angripa parabhrita sarito api ashushya ruddha guha kim ajitovati na pashanan kasmat bhajanti kavayo dhana durmandaha. Are there no torn clothes lying on the common road? Do the trees which exist for maintaining others no longer give alms in charity? Do the rivers being dried up no longer supply water to the thirsty? Are the caves of the mountains now closed? Or above all, does the Almighty Lord not protect the fully surrendered souls? Why then do learned sages go to flatter those who are intoxicated by hard earned wealth? So another more examples are given. That there are clothes lying on the common road. In a brahmachari ashram, this is very common. If someone comes, he does not need anything. He will get the basic necessities of life scattered here and there. Because some of the brahmacharis are very royal brahmacharis. They get new things and they discard old things out of their room or out of their almirah, generously for others to take away. So many times I say that if you come to Delhi temple and stay with the brahmachari, you need not have anything. Because everything else is already there. This principle is very much there. That are there not torn clothes lying on the common road? Do the tree which exists for maintaining others no longer give alms in charity? Do the river being dried up no longer supply water to the thirsty? And are the caves of the mountains now closed? But above all, does the Almighty Lord not protect the fully surrendered souls? Why then do the learned sages go to flatter those who are intoxicated by hard-earned wealth? The renounced order of life is never meant for begging. Very important. Renounced order of life is never meant for begging. According to the dictionary, a parasite is a sycophant who lives at the cost of society without making any contributions to that society. The renounced order is meant for contributing something substantial to society and not depending on the earning of the householders. On the contrary, acceptance of alms from the householders by the bona fide mendicant is an opportunity afforded by the saint for the tangible benefit of the donor. In the Sanatana Dharma institution, alms giving to the mendicant is part of the householder's duty. And it is advised in the scriptures that the householder should treat the mendicants as their family children and should provide them with food, clothing, etc. without being asked. Pseudo-mendicants, therefore, should not take advantage of the charitable disposition of the faithful. Pseudo-mendicants, therefore, should not take advantage of the charitable disposition of the faithful householder. It is also said that those who are renounced, detached householders, they should not be exploited or taken advantage. The first duty of person in the renounced order of life is to contribute some literary work for the benefit of the human being in order to give him realized direction towards self-realization. Among the other duties in the renounced order of life of Srila Sanatan, Srila Rupa and other Goswamis of Vrindavan, the foremost duty discharged by them was to hold learned discussions amongst themselves as at Sevakunda. To hold learned discourses among themselves at Sevakunda. Vrindavan, the spot where Sri Radha Damodar temple was established by Srila Jiva Goswami and where the actual Samadhi tomb of Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Sanatana Goswami are laid. For the benefit of all in human society, they had left behind them immense literature of transcendental importance. Similarly, all the acharyas who voluntarily accepted the renounced order of life aimed at benefiting human society and not living a comfortable or irresponsible life at the cost of others. However, those who cannot give any contribution should not go to the householders for such mendicants asking bread from the householders are an insult to the highest order. Sukadeva Goswami gives this warning especially to those mendicants who adopt this line of profession to solve their economic problems. Such mendicants are in abundance in the age of Kali. When a man becomes a mendicant, willfully or by circumstances, he must be of firm faith and conviction that the Supreme Lord is the maintainer of all living beings everywhere in the universe. Why then would he neglect the maintenance of a surrendered soul who is 100% engaged in the service of the Lord? A common master looks at the necessities of his servant, and how much more would the all-powerful, all-operant Supreme Lord look after the necessities of life for a fully surrendered soul? General rule is that a mendicant devotee will accept a simple small lined cloth without asking anyone to give it in charity. He simply salvages it from the rejected torn cloth thrown in the street. When he is hungry, he may go to the magnanimous tree which drops fruits, and when he is thirsty, he may drink water from the flowing river. He does not require to live in a comfortable house, but should find a cave in the hill and not be afraid of jungle animals. Keeping faith in God who lives in everyone's heart. The Lord may dictate to tigers and to other jungle animals not to disturb his devotees. Haridas Thakur, a great devotee of Lord Sri Chaitanya, used to live in such a cave. And by chance, a great venomous snake was a co-partner of the cave. We went there, na? Hulia. Such admirer of Thakur Haridas, who would visit the Thakur every day, feared the snake and suggested that the Thakur leave that place. Because his devotees were afraid of the snake and they were regularly visiting the cave, Thakur Haridas agreed on the proposal on their account. But as soon as this was settled, the snake actually crawled out of its hole in the cave and left the cave for good before everyone present. By the dictation of the Lord, who lived also with the heart of the snake gave preference to Haridas and decided to leave that place and not disturb him in this tangible example of how the Lord gives protection to a bona fide devotee like Thakur Haridas. According to the regulations of the Sanatan Dharma institution, one is trained from the very beginning to depend fully on the protection of the Lord in all circumstances. What is this Siddhanta? One is trained from the beginning to depend fully on the protection of the Lord in all circumstances. Bataiye, what verse is this? Very important verse. The path of renunciation is recommended for acceptance by one who is fully accomplished and fully purified in his existence. This stage is described also in Bhagavad Gita 16.5 as Devi Sampat. A human being is required to accumulate Devi Sampat or spiritual assets. Otherwise, the next alternative, Asuri Sampat or material assets, will overcome his disproportionately, and thus one will be forced into the entanglement of different miseries of the material world. A sannyasi should always live alone, without company. He must be fearless. He should never be afraid of living alone, although he is never alone. The Lord is residing in everyone's heart, and unless one is purified by the prescribed process, one will feel that he is alone. But a man in the renounced order of life must be purified by the process. Thus, he will feel the presence of the Lord everywhere and will have nothing to fear, such as being without his company. Everyone can become a fearless and honest person if his very existence is purified by discharging the prescribed duty for each and every order of life. One can become fixed in one's prescribed duty by faithful oral reception of the Vedic instructions and assimilate of the essence of the Vedic knowledge by devotional service to the Lord. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here. Two very powerful verses which are explaining how to live life with bare minimum necessities of life. Hare Krishna. Is there any discussion, question, query, or contributions? Two very important verses. Okay, there is none, so I will stop here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai.